Hello everybody, it's Lynn here. I'm the Golivegranny and I'm down here at the Monkton Arts, the lounge at the Monkton Arts, and I'm in the gallery in an exhibition called 50 Familiar Faces. Now I came down here and I live streamed yesterday, but unfortunately you couldn't hear Jenna talking to me about all the lovely people round the wall. So Jenna's not here today, so I'm going to talk you round all these beautiful photographs of these beautiful people who live in Monkton Village. The cafe here is in Monkton Village. It's a small area of Ryde, and it's the opposite end of Ryde from where I live. And on the wall there are 50 amazing pictures of amazing people who live in this very small area of Ryde. So I'm going to read what the exhibition is about, and as I say, I'm repeating it from yesterday because you couldn't hear the sound. So the sound is much. Hi Mary. So today I'm going to tell you. Right, so actually I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to tell you about the 50 familiar faces. We have curated this exhibition for two main reasons. Firstly, through setting up and running Monkton Arts, we have been amazed at the incredible people who live in this area. They may not think they are special, but once you sit with a cup of coffee and give people the time to open up and talk, it is just overwhelming what stories, experiences, and memories people are carrying with them. I'm going to sit down, folks, for a minute because, I'm a bit tired and I'm going to read all this information to you. So let me just have a seat over here Hi everyone. So, it says, I'm honoured to live. For this reason, I am honoured to live in Monkton Village. This is Jenna and Dawn, mother and daughter, who run the lounge here at Monkton Village. She says, an area. I am honoured to live in Monkton Village, an area for whatever reason these people have gravitated to, and I am proud to live amongst them. I hope that through more people finding out about each other, the pride of this community will grow, and with pride comes respect and growth. Secondly, in this millennial age of technology and the daily doom of the news, people have stopped talking so much. In this modern age of uncertainty, it is essential more than ever that despite all prejudgments, we pull together as a community and communicate more. Our thinking was that if people knew just a snippet of information, even simply seeing this exhibition, you now have something to say to the familiar faces you see each day. Hi, Wendy. But never talked to, a seed from which a friendship can flourish in the rich soils of Monkton Village. So, and down here it says, the little blurbs by each person have been written by myself, Jenna, that's the daughter of the mother and daughter team that run this wonderful establishment here. These are snippets I have remembered from conversations over the last year or things I have heard. I apologise if any of the information is incorrect or spelt wrong. I tried. This project has been overwhelming and it soon becomes obvious that 50 faces simply isn't enough. Therefore, we plan to continue this project and expand, taking more photos, doing real interviews and finding links between people to do another exhibition and to produce a book. Please leave your details if you want to be involved. We hope this extension will become a heritage project showing a moment in time, as well as to continue to get people talking, feeling valued and bind together a wonderful community. So that's the information that's on the table as you come in, and I'm just going to now take you round the walls. As I say, I did it yesterday, but the sound was poor, and it was such a wonderful exhibition. I wanted you to make sure that you knew who all these people were. So let me flip the camera around. So this is Jenna. That was Jenna who's written the blurb I was just reading. And that's her mum, Dawn. And they together run this wonderful cafe. They started in an area around the corner in a very small cafe, but they wanted to do things for local artists and local people. And they were so lucky to find this building that we're in now. It used to be Island Printers. It was a very derelict building. Let me just show you out there. So this part that I'm showing you now, that was actually where you came in to talk to the printer. And then this bit here and out there and round the corner where the cafe is was where the printing went on. And I used to get printing done here, but it's an amazing use of this space. So that's them. Then this is Daisy. These are the photographers I'm showing you now. So Daisy did some photographs. That's Jenna's daughter. And then this is, wait a minute, so we've got Scott there. I think I've got them in the right order. Marius and Graham. And they are all photographers who've taken these pictures. So let's start here with this one. And this is the car wash team. And I walked past the car wash team. They are just across the road from here. And it says, these admirable men work relentlessly, doing a great job in all weathers, cleaning cars in the centre of the Monkton Village. Sometimes they very generously bring us chocolate bars. Woo! There we go. And then up here we have Mr. and Mrs. Patel. Mr. and Mrs. Patel work in the local newsagent on Monkton Street. They both help us at Monkton Arts with recipes and knowledge of how to celebrate Hindu celebrations. So there we go. And then here we have Sonia. And this is Sonia, is the landlady of the Solent Inn. The Solent Inn is just across at the end of the road, very, very close. The Solent has managed to successfully get that perfect balance between being very local while remaining a welcoming, warm and exciting pub. And then this is Steve. Steve was the Ryde Town Crier until he was told he was no longer needed, sadly. But he now acts as town crier for other towns for public events and celebrations. And then this is Oscar. Oscar is the youngest customer at 2 weeks old when the photograph was taken. He is Zach's nephew and was born on Christmas Eve. Bless him. There we go. And now up here we have Sander and Maya. Sander regularly plays drums with Mark Thomas at our themed music nights, the first Tuesday of each month, but he also plays piano with his wife Maya, who plays violin. Together they are bass and treble. And then this is Pam. Pam is a member of our new Monkton Artists group. I haven't got to know Pam too well yet, but I know she's a wonderful neighbour, always friendly and thoughtful, and does a good job at keeping everyone together and smiling. And down here we have John Herriman. John is a high school teacher at the Priory. That's one of our private schools on the island. He is also a local musician playing guitar and piano, and when he's not playing at Monkton Arts, you can look him up on YouTube. There we go. And then we have Mark and Paul up here. Mark and Paul are a brother team who work at Acer Reclamation Yard opposite Monkton Arts. So that's just still in this little road here, just across the road. Actually, probably just over there. Actually, there's some people coming in, so I won't do that. But just across there, I believe. It's true Isle of Wight style. Sorry, in true Isle of Wight style, we are sort of related. Paul's grandchild is also Dawn's nephew's child. Unlike most tradesmen, they are very good timekeepers and are both honest and hardworking. Paul is also, hi Kaylee, Paul is also a keen long-distance swimmer, completing long sea swims for charity. So there we go. And then we have, sorry, there's a bit of reflection on there. I can't help that, but I'm doing my best. Nisa Saturday morning team. That's Eden, Pirakash, Raj and Rajan. Rajan is the main man at our local convenience store. Nisa Rajan and his wife Medula, who also works in the shop, and daughters are from Sri Lanka, but regularly visits his sister in Switzerland, as well as back to Sri Lanka to see his mum and family. They enjoy celebrating the Hindu festivals, although he said Monkton Arts celebrate them more than they do. Monkton Arts would not run without our corner shop. Thank you to all the staff. And it is just so lovely here with all these things happening. And then this is Lee. Lee works in the units behind Monkton Arts, working on cars. We don't know Lee yet. He has his own kettle. There we are. So he's obviously making his own cups of tea, but hopefully he will come in soon. And that is, that's one of the town councillors, Adrian Axford, I think that is. He hasn't got a piece of paper beside him. Perhaps he's got another picture somewhere else, I don't know. But there's no piece of paper. There's an empty one down here, but I think that's for a poster. So he's a town councillor, Ryde Town Councillor. I do know that. And this is John. John, sad to say we don't know John. He's a familiar face to us too, and has an amazing collection of chains. He works in the garages across the road from Monkton Arts, fixing bikes, I think. That's what Jenna's put. And this is John. John is the most wonderful man. He has had adventures travelling all over the world, as well as being a model in his youth. He studied art foundation at Southwark College and London College of Printing, going on to do a BA in fine art at Byamshore College, and alchemy, astrology and philosophy at the School of Occult Philosophy, Kensington. He has also taken part in spiritual circles in Thames Ditton. He has a successful career as an artist in London, painting abstract symbolic paintings to express his beliefs and philosophy. He is a trained butcher. It was a family business as he was growing up in Surbiton, London, and is also a skilled carpenter. He gave up life as an artist, donating all his art materials to a local art college, and downsized to the Isle of Wight, where he is a very content being, a much-loved Monktonian and an active member of our photography group, as well as a keen gardener. Hi, Caroline. I'm back at Monkton Arts because yesterday's video you couldn't hear the sound very well, so that's why I'm back here today. And this is Tamara. Can you see Tamara? Yes. Sorry, this light's shining. Tamara has lived all over the world. She's a jazz singer and has set up choirs in Sweden to revive their traditional folk songs, set up a jazz club and restaurant in Argentina, and sang all around Spain and Portugal. She moved back to England and became a granny nanny and English teacher. She moved to Ryde a few years ago and still has a passion for jazz singing. And this is Diana Mosley, and I was sitting with Diana having a cup of tea the other day. Well, I was sitting there and she came and sat with me, had a very interesting conversation. So she's a successful costume designer. During the 80s and 90s, Diana was designing and dressing famous pop idols, rock stars, and working on big blockbuster movie sets as well as TV dramas. She's given all this up and to be a kite-flying beach bum in our humble town of Ryde, and has since initiated community projects with Ryde Society, such as this year's carnival costumes, turning toddlers' drawings into 7-foot carnival costumes, the Rideys. She's also one of the kindest and loveliest of people in Monkton Village. And this is Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie writes a local literary pamphlet called Brevity, the Isle of Wight Literary Handbill. And this is Cynthia. She has a wonderful dog, Pepe, who is a rescue dog from Cyprus. She's creative and wonderfully friendly and warm and lovely. And this is Wanda. Wanda works at the Christ the King High School as a French teacher. She has a keen eye for fashion, regularly buying what will suit others to sell on. And this is Zach, and I was talking to Zach just now. He's the resident knitter. So he is stylish and creative. He spends a lot of his free time at Monkton Arts, knitting and drawing or doing some other newfound craft activity. He's also a talented poet, reading at our spoken word events as well as others around the island. He manages multiple jobs, including art tuition, cleaning and gardening. Zach regularly goes to church and is involved in church social events. Despite any troubles Zach has had to face in his life, he remains a thoughtful, grounded, caring, talented and a young man with a very mature and positive outlook on life. And yes, I enjoyed chatting to him earlier. It is an interesting exhibition, really is, Caroline. And then over here, this, I know that Jenna told me about this yesterday. I've forgotten what she told me, but this is a picture of Monkton Arts and some of the characters here in Monkton Arts that has been depicted by one of the artists. It says, "Eat cake and be happy." Prints on canvas and mounted £15, audio print at the till, and the cards are £3.50. So there we go. There's the outside. And then this is Anne. Whoops. Anne works alongside Mike Fitt on community projects regarding green spaces and gardening, and is part of the Vernon Square and Ryde Society groups. And this is Seamus. Shay lives at the end of Monkton Street. You may have heard him in the summer playing his accordion. He's Irish through and always has a story to tell. Sorry, did you want to come past? I'll go past. Did you want to see those ones? No, okay, sorry. I'm getting in the way. Other people in the exhibition. So this is Peter. Peter has a drive in life to help people. And I met Peter at the Hungry and Homeless project at Ryde Methodist Church. So that's how I know Peter. He's opened his home and an ever compassionate ear to those in need, people who have found themselves homeless or succumbed to substance addictions. He volunteers at Aspire and is putting together an idea to help get people back into society through learning valuable skills trades. And this is Stella. I know Stella, she runs the Ryde Society. And Stella, let's have a look. Stella, for many years, Stella was the head of sixth form at Ryde School. She has sung all over the world, singing operatically. After retiring, she formed Ryde Society to stop the council from selling off our local assets and to be a voice for public opinion. And she's doing a fantastic job, I have to say. Ryde Society is now a much needed and popular group, attracting large numbers at their public meetings to address the local councillors to discuss local plans. And I usually live stream those meetings so that the world can hear. Now we have Donna Jones. She doesn't actually live in Monkton Village, but she does a fantastic amount of stuff down here. And she runs the Isle of Wight Stylers group that I belong to. And she's done loads of things. So she's Donna Jones, MBE. Wait a minute. She's from Barnsley, Yorkshire. She was granted her MBE for her hard work and charity fundraising in the youth work sector, mainly working with youth from underprivileged backgrounds. Donna is now settled in Ryde and enjoys life as an accomplished and sometimes controversial artist, poet, comedian, feminist, pride promoter, and is still raising money with us at Monkton Arts through her upcycling group for the Island Soup Kitchen. She is also involved in our Memories Brought Home project, helping to tell stories and bring the community together through artists and social groups. And there's some little pictures there of things she's doing. And this is Terry. He's from Leeds and he's now lives in Ryde as our local clown. He frequently dresses up in one of his many costumes, entertaining people to raise money for motor neurone disease. His other jobs include a window cleaner and a painted decorator. He also has 9 snakes, 2 parrots, a tortoise and 2 rabbits. There we go. And this is Suzanne. And let's see what it says about Suzanne. Hi Phil, nice to see you. I'm down at Monkton Arts with this wonderful art exhibition that's finishing today. Suzanne is a keen swimmer, frequently swimming in the sea and doing cross-solent swims. She's also a swimming teacher at our local waterside pool. She also produces icon print art and is a cat lover. Yes, 9 snakes. Suzanne is married to Scott, one of our photographers. And then I know this is Jules, and I don't know what her husband's name is. I met them, I was sat with them the other day in the cafe, but there's no piece of paper to tell me any more about them, so I can't fill you in on that bit too much. I'm sorry. And then we have some other people here that don't have any blurb underneath them, but I think these two are connected. So this lovely lady and that lovely gentleman, and somebody perhaps Jenna will give some details afterwards. And then we have Josephine, and this wonderful lady has spent time in America in the 60s and 70s as a well-known photographer, rubbing shoulders with big names such as Joan Baez and Joni Mitchell backstage at Woodstock. She was also one of the first and subsequently leading businesswomen to be selling computers in Canada. She still enjoys photography and helps at local art exhibitions. She's a chocoholic and one of the most appreciative customers, kind and beautifully elegant. And this is Gerald. Gerald has 2 specialisms. He's an expert in antique Chinese pottery marking. He's written the only Western reference book on the topic and is about to release its 4th edition. He's also an expert on Honda motorbikes and regularly writes for Honda publications. Gerald is married to Yuriko, who's down here, and there's some pictures of his books. And this is Yuriko. Yuri used to be a private chef doing dinner parties for the elite all over the country, her favourite client being Mariella Frostrup. Her sushi is amazing. Yuri has also collaborated with her husband Gerald, writing out the Chinese ceramic markings for his reference books. And now we have, let's see, the light is shining on it. Barry and Sean. Barry is Scottish and a semi-retired chef. Sian is Welsh and is a carer and home tutor. She also speaks fluent Welsh. They are both knowledgeable and interested in well-being, self-help, Reiki and numerology. And this is Anne-Marie and Freddie. Anne-Marie with her beautiful dog Freddie. Anne-Marie loves the latest gadgets and is a good person to know if you need any technical advice. Freddie is an adorable Jack Russell with a lovable and cuddly temperament with his own Facebook page, Freddie Loves Sponge, and has a girlfriend called Lucy. Anne-Marie is also married to Eric, and this is Eric down here. Hi, Fiona. Sorry, excuse me. Eric has a keen interest in history, classics, old school rock, alchemy, and with a little bit of witchcraft. He's also liable to be the one who delivers your junk mail, which he does to be paid to keep fit. He has also helped us out at Monkton Arts with our festival celebrations, and he's been our St George, our last night of the proms conductor, our spoken word compere, and will generally dress up every time we are mad enough to. So there you go, I have seen him dressed up too. And this is George. Greek George from Birmingham is a chartered accountant contractor. He has travelled and lived in many places around the world. He has sailed globally and now lives with his wonderfully intelligent and lovely 19-year-old daughter Anna. He will stay in Ryde until Anna goes off to university, when he plans to move to Poland and buy a horse, only because he bought a cheap saddle off us. There we go. He plays the violin and enjoys traditional Greek music. He's also very knowledgeable about all sorts of topics such as classics, and he's a very great, no-nonsense, honest man to chat with. And this is Elizabeth L. And Elizabeth is originally from Northern Ireland, educated by nuns. She moved to London with her sister when she was 18 and lived all over England. She worked in a male-dominated industry, organising the distribution of freight internationally. She moved to Cyprus for 11 years with her daughter. They moved back to England 6 years ago and is now settled on the island as a vivacious character of Monkton Village. And this is Amy and family. Amy and her family often appear from the hole in the hedge behind Monkton Arts. They are a very loving and creative family. Amy has experience of home educating and is a keen festival goer. And sorry, I don't have any information about this lovely lady. There's no information there at the moment, but perhaps we can find out. This is Helen L. Helen is a very talented and versatile artist working in a variety of styles. She's a member of the Island Arts Collectives as well as our very own new Monkton Artists group. She likes to paint subjects that have a message, makes a statement, or just makes her laugh. There we go. And then we have Rosine and Benjamin. Rosine was married to a very famous and successful Australian film director. They have lived in many places around the world, including Australia and South Africa. Rosine and Benjamin are both heavily involved in the Ryde Film Club, regularly showing films around Ryde and attending film quiz nights. Benjamin's mind is like an encyclopedia of film knowledge, so they are often a winning team. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Phil. Thank you. It's an amazing exhibition, and it finishes today. So who have we got here now? This is Carol J. And Carol J has only recently retired from the long-standing position of setting up and running Ryde Arts. Hang on. Let's see what Phil's saying. Great streaming and fantastic. Pleased that our finance committee at Ryde Town Council assisted. Brilliant. Okie dokie. That's fantastic. Phil, I'm glad that you could fund some of this because it's so important and we're showing it out to the world. So do please share so everybody can see. This is Carol J. She's run many art classes in different community initiatives such as the Ribbler Centre and has an integral part in setting up Key Arts many years ago. She's a figurative ceramic artist selling her work nationally and locally in Monkton Arts. Overall, she has played a key part of the arts scene on the Isle of Wight for many years, and I'm sure she will continue to do so. There's some little pictures there that go with her blurb. And then this is Barbara. Barbara is married to Mike Fitt and has supported Mike through all of his endeavours. She has battled with her health but remains strong and positive and beautiful. And this is Mike Fitt. I know Mike Fitt because I met him when I was judging Ryde in Bloom. Mike Fitt was the Queen's gardener looking after Buckingham Palace Gardens as well as the Royal London Parks. He's initiated many community involvement projects in and around London's green space. Now he has retired to Ryde, he is still heavily involved in the maintenance and development of Vernon Square Gardens and is working on other exciting local green space projects, as well as still being involved in charitable work in London. His wife Barbara has supported and assisted him through all of his various projects and achievements. So there we go. And this is, right, there's a lot of blurb here. This is John Ackroyd. And he has his own autobiographical book, if you want to find out so much more than I can say now. But but in a nutshell, he is an incredible creative engineering inventor. He invented the first commercial electric car, was on the team who invented the hovercraft, invented the engine in the fastest land speed car Thrush 2, as well as other land speed record cars, working on car design and the engines. He also worked with Richard Branson on the hot air balloon, which went around the world. In between all of these incredible projects, he gravitated back to Ryde to be a deck chair boy, laying out the 3,000 deck chairs which used to line up along Ryde's sandy beaches. From his lifetime's achievements in engineering, he has received the Freedom of Ryde. Earlier this year, John had an exhibition here in the Acorns Gallery, showing blueprints and models never publicly seen before. We are now working on a Young Engineers Apprenticeship Award in John's name, as John never got the acknowledgement he deserved on account of him being such a humble and team-playing man. Unfortunately, John is now suffering with Alzheimer's, and Sarah is his main carer. Sarah is a wonderful, vivacious, kind, caring and inspirational woman to anyone who knows her. And I know Sarah, she home educates 2 of her 3 children and is involved in trying to save the island's Unitarian Church in Newport, as well as being a 5G protester. Sarah is a master Reiki healer and is trained and experienced in many well-being and healing skills, organising many social events to encourage health and well-being. She also loves the great outdoors, having many adventures in her distinctive camper van. She manages to do all of this while remaining securely down to earth, humorous and beautiful inside and out. There we go. Thank you, Caroline. And this is Fiona and John. I sat with them the other day, and Fiona and John Gardner managed the cutting edge of Everyman's Theatre in Liverpool. They retired to the island and are now active members in the community, getting involved in Vernon Square Gardens and the Carnival. And this is Zoe. Zoe is a professional photographer with the trade name On an Island, selling cards and prints all over the island, including Monkton Arts, but has also won photography awards nationally. Zoe is a great believer in the particular qualities of film and shoots on large and medium format cameras. She delights in dated or run-down interiors, focusing on the everyday details that are so often overlooked. Zoe is an integral part to the rug band, the Ryde Ukulele Band, who we all love. We are also very pleased she agreed to be our finance lead in FOMAC, Friends of Monkton Arts Committee. There we go. Nearly there now, folks. This is Clodagh. Clodagh is originally Irish, but she has lived and worked all over the world from being a child and through her life living in South Africa, Australia and Malaya. Last year she spoke at our Mashup, the arts event, about displacement and integration. She worked at the ABC as a journalist and travelled a lot around the world with that job too. Clodagh is interested in religion, regularly visiting St Celia's and other local churches. She is very knowledgeable about all sorts of topics. I would listen to Clodagh all day. I could listen to Clodagh all day. She has kindly agreed to be a Friends of Monkton Arts committee and to bring her enthusiasm and great ideas to us. Clodagh moved to Ryde to be closer to her sister Rosine and nephew Benjamin, who we saw over there somewhere. And this is Mo. Mo is a wonderfully multi-talented lady who is integral to Monkton Village community life, supporting Ryde Society as well as Monkton Arts community projects, going along with and supporting our mad ideas as well as coming up with her own. She's the custodian of the life's work of the late Sarah Kouvarakis, sorry, not sure how you pronounce that, which we have named our children's art gallery after. She has made it her mission to honour Sarah's talent by getting these works into the local community, and we have been working to set up projects with local schools, nurseries and Portsmouth University. Before Mo retired to Ryde, she had a successful career in the music business as a folk musician, playing with the well-known band The Tinkers. They had a top 10 hit in the Irish charts. She's also spent time living in Hollywood, following her husband, a very successful Hollywood film director. Her brother also wrote The Italian Job. Wow. Mo is now a talented and much-loved local artist, as well as being a keen gardener and skilled carpenter. She lives next door to her son Scott, one of our photographers, and daughter-in-law Suzanne. And this is Barry Acorns. Barry recently moved from Scotland, where he has lived for over 30 years. He made the move to the Isle of Wight after his wife passed away. She had made him promise he would move here to be closer to his grandchildren. Barry extremely generously offered to lend us the money to do the work needed to open Monkton Arts, which is why we have named the exhibition gallery after him. He was also in the Navy and a member of the Navy Association at the Simeon Arms. Almost there, folks. Last three. This is Mike and John Claude. Sorry, Mia and John Claude. Mia is a skilled and experienced digital artist producing fantastic and diverse pieces. Her last masterpiece has been based on our very own lounge cafe with its familiar faces. Oh, that was the one that I showed you the picture, right over there on the windowsill. Okie dokie. And JC is a keen photographer specialising in insects. They are both wonderful but loved characterful Monktonians who always have time to lend a compassionate ear and a glass of Cinzano. And this is Chris. And I met Chris just now. I met him yesterday. He's known as Cappuccino Chris because he comes in and buys cappuccino. Chris works in the units behind Monkton Arts, the one with a boat in front of it. He works with many different construction materials such as resin and fiberglass. He is versatile and extremely skilled craftsman and artist, but equally as modest and humble. His mural artwork is photorealistic quality, and he has crafted a carbon fibre wine glass holder and coloured resin on canvas pictures which are sold in our shop. Monkton Arts have commissioned him to make the John Ackroyd Award for Young Engineering Apprentice of the Year. And finally, Mike. Mike works in the units behind Monkton Arts. We know him as Chris's dad, but we also know he worked with John Ackroyd restoring record-breaking cars. So, folks, that is the exhibition. Look, I've just been all the way around here explaining it all to you, but I'm just going to go into the next bit because there's children's work in here that I just want to show you. It's so exciting. And what the local children did. Actually, let me tell you, we're in Sarah Kay's gallery. Sarah Kouvarakis, sorry, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, sadly passed away in October 2017. She was a much-loved, vibrant and inspirational local artist. Despite her failing health, her prolific art remained vibrant, colourful, free and full of life and of joy. She based many of her pieces on children's literature and interpreted other famous paintings and books. Sorry, I'm just reading from on here. With a wonderful found joy and humour. Sarah's wishes were for her paintings to be left to the community, and she entrusted this job to the capable hands of local artist Mo Martin. Mo has worked tirelessly and successfully to make her wishes come true and has already had a well-received exhibition at Ryde Library, as well as got her work into other community spaces across the island. Because of Sarah's energy and free creative spirit which shines through her work, we thought Sarah's work was very well suited to inspiring the younger generations, which is why we have chosen to name our dedicated children's art gallery after her. Already her work is feeding children's minds with art projects in island nurseries and for local children, which will be exhibited here in the future. From sales of a new selected pieces of Sarah's work, Mo has donated money to funding this exhibition space by providing frames, mounts and prizes for this project. This extremely kind offer will now enable us to continue projects like this to other schools and for other children's projects. And so there is a children's project in here. It will be coming down shortly, but it was it is the 12 Days of Christmas, and it was, I think it was Dover Park School, I'm not quite sure, but this one I have to tell you about. This should be 7 swans are swimming, but the teacher said, you try telling a class of nearly 30 little people that we only need 7 swans are swimming. So we have rather a lot of swans are swimming, and aren't they beautiful? And so we have all the illustrations from here for the 12 Days of Christmas. There's some cards there. Let me just go round here. Whoops. And so there we are. Look, this is the gallery here. There we got your all the different parts of the 12 Days of Christmas. We have the Lords are Leaping over here. We have Partridge in a Pear Tree down there. We have all sorts. Another partridge in a pear tree there. And so, folks, I hope you've enjoyed that. It's been an amazing tour. It's been an amazing exhibition. It's coming down over the weekend in order for Mo's exhibition to go up. So I'll try and come down and share Mo's exhibition with you when it's up. Thanks for watching. And please, if you've enjoyed it, can you share? Because sharing is caring. Bye.